I think he knows he's not ready for the league. I think he knows that.
And who's in that office? Because the
well.
way Nike marketing have been going ham right now, it's like 18.9 million
18.9
views for the women's game.
If you've just started watching now, like, welcome.
And I'm flexible as a manager. I'll be like, listen, we're all starting a little bit later today.
Who cares? They wasn't saying that about the women years ago.
Everyone on them sneaky links.
Welcome to the More Than Ball Show. It's season 2, episode 12, and I'm Ola.
I'm Sevian.
Hey, it's Shakila.
Hey, it's Paige.
Yes, and we're missing Eamon today, but Eid Mubarak to
Happy
her.
Eid.
This
Happy
is
Eid.
Happy Eid, guys.
Happy Eid to everyone.
Happy Eid.
I hope Ramadan went well for everyone.
Yeah,
I've seen so much positive posts from those who went through it and who actually want to keep doing it. I think one thing I want to do actually is fast like one day a week.
Yeah.
Just to see like how beneficial I find it and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I did.
Cool.
I had a friend. Well, I still have a friend. But she used to run Ramadan for a day at work.
Oh really?
And everyone would do it. And then we'll all break our fast together at the end of the day. That was when I worked for like a social integration charity. It was like the best thing ever. And like you will all be in office at 9:30 breaking our fast. It was beautiful.
That is beautiful. Wow.
So yeah, definitely. I would keep doing that. I do it with her family now, but I try and do it for a week. But the headaches. Bro.
You have headaches?
Yeah, if you're doing it for a week, the headaches, they really start to kick in. Oof. Yeah. Well, I mean, me doing it for a week, for other people, it's a lot longer.
You kind of get used to it. Like, I remember when I was with Shaq and stuff, I remember the first day, I was like, remember with the dates? I was like, I can't wait to eat the dates or whatever.
Soaked in honey.
Not even that, just straight from the box.
Yeah.
Washed, obviously, guys.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it does get easier and you do feel more... I want to say like, I don't know, you just feel more wholesome. Like it just feels like it was worth it.
Yeah.
Because I guess the whole act is like to make it like if you can survive without this, that, and the third, like this is why. So yeah. Interesting. Yeah,
love that. And also, like you can't acknowledge it. You can't talk about Eid without talking about everything that's going on in Gaza right now. So I think also a special mention for that, like Free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Cool. Okay, let's get into it. I feel like this is an episode where we're specifically going to talk about women's basketball, more so because we're in an era where it's being watched more than any other sport and any other final. Shout out to the people that have made that happen, past and present, looking at the people in this room as well that have been on those stages. But we can kick it off. We're talking about the NBA, I guess. Eamon isn't here, so I feel like this is the best time to talk about how the Bucks aren't doing too well because I don't want to hear the stats. But I brought it up, so I'm happy to have the conversation. The Bucks are still not delivering. I said it first so that you couldn't say it to me. This is a bit the Nigerian in me.
I hear it. Yeah.
How are you guys feeling?
Yeah, they're not delivering. They're actually doing probably worse under the new coaching staff compared to with AG. So it's kind of like, was it worth it? Was it not? And I think this is not even a team situation. I think, well, maybe it is. Maybe the team isn't like brought in, but that's not a conversation I've heard anywhere. But I think it's just style of play. It's the ops, like operation team. Like I think it's nothing to do with the actual players because we said at the beginning this was a championship. Like this team should be in the finals, and that is not going to happen. It's not even a possibility to me. It's funny because the defensive rating's gone up, but it's still not a championship defensive team at all.
Yeah, but I think that even though the defensive rating has gone up, I think it's just because it was so poor before. Because actually, we're still second, like respectfully, Lakers.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, how are you second?
3 wins away from the Lakers. It's just the West is tougher.
Yeah.
So
you
on 48, we're on 45.
But we're like we are still doing okay in terms of it. Obviously, the numbers are speaking for themselves. But I think that I'm not really convinced that the defense is better.
That's what I'm saying. It sounds like it's better. It's still not what it should be.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big issue.
Yeah.
I'm just really I don't know.
Yeah, don't know where to start.
I'm just disappointed.
Yeah. I think we put
disappointed.
I think we put a lot of pressure on the possibility of what this could mean.
And they felt it.
Yeah, and actually the reality is I think we got rid of him too soon.
Who, Adrian Griffin?
Yeah.
I think, he should have stayed until the end of the season.
Yeah.
And give the new coaching staff a new, give him his players that he wants and everything, and let him see what he can do at the very beginning.
Yeah.
I think it's very hard to pick up a team in the middle of a season, especially when they weren't doing great anyway.
Yeah.
So, I don't like the blame. I know, I love Giannis to death, but I don't like the ball boy's got to do better. This, they do, but like that, you need to do better for you. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone needs to just take accountability for their own self, for what they need to do to carry the team.
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know, man. Sad.
Yeah. Because I like.
How are we saying they're not doing good in their second? That's what I don't understand. It's insane.
They're not winning games.
Yeah.
It's just sad. Like, I think, what was it? They
Losing
lost
to teams they shouldn't be losing to.
Yeah, like Grizzlies. Like, it's just so. Yeah. Do you think they're just losing to those teams because they don't care? Like, it's not a team that they care for.
I don't know, because I mean, I can't imagine that in one season and losing one player, right, whilst also gaining a great player, you can decline that steadily. Do you know
Especially
what I mean?
when they had a good run last year.
Yeah, as in for the last 3 years they've had a good run.
Yeah.
It's always been some sort of injury. Brooke has a baby.
Giannis is back.
Yeah, exactly. There's always something that happens that means that actually key players are out. Whereas now it's like they were down from the count from like game 20. And I feel like when Giannis says everyone's got to do better, even the ball boy, I think he's telling us something that they can't say wider. Like, I do think there must be something quite serious going on in the organisation. If now in, like, retrospectively, we're thinking AG shouldn't have gone, it was too early, Doc hasn't actually managed to make any change, like, maybe it is bigger than that, and we'll find out at the end of the season.
Do you feel like if AG stayed, they would be in a better position, or no?
Yeah, because I feel like at least if you're with someone that you know, and you, like, fair enough, you could lose trust in them, but actually you've played together as a team and you've seen successes as a team. I feel like, assuming that it's something bigger than the team, it's like organizational, I feel like you could still at least like come together based on like just a common, like, people come together based on even just common dislike for what's going on. Do you get what I mean?
Agree to disagree.
Yeah, but then if it's wider, especially if it's not the team that is the problem and it's actually something going on in the organisation, you could just bond together versus that adversity.
Because at the end of the day, it's you guys who are playing on the court.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas Doc can't do that. He doesn't know them to be able to bring them together.
Yeah, I definitely feel like they should have waited. If they were going to change coach, they should have waited to see what Adrian Griffin could have done throughout the whole season. Like, you cut him too short. Yeah,
and I don't know why. I mean, maybe they really did think that change would come, but I don't.
But from Doc Rivers, like, granted, he had. I don't know, like he panics. Like, I don't think. I mean, I know he's a vet coach, and you've got vets on the team. I get that. But I don't think, like, what he did at the Sixers and stuff, like, in the bubble, like, I don't think this is a coach you need right now. I feel like you could have done fine with AG and you would be in a better position.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not the position you want, but right now, like, you could have been here, and right now you're right here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a risk.
I feel like saying that now, like, okay, we're looking back on, okay, maybe it could have went better with the old coach, but, like, for example, London Lions, when Stella came and she lost her first game, I don't think anyone's thinking about that first game now because of what she's done in the time. Like, she's turned it around completely. Maybe he just needs more time with the team to, like, know how everybody plays and, like, what will work best for them. And I just think that, not necessarily that they've given up on the season, obviously, because they're still second, but I think that it's tough when you change coaches mid-season. So I think that they just need more time to, like, gel together.
And you know that firsthand, absolutely. It is hard when you change, like, in the middle of a season. The only thing is, what I would say about that is because of Stella's resume, there was basically nothing on there. That was high risk, high reward. Do you know what I mean? So despite her losing that first game for London Lions, she hasn't lost a game since, has she?
No, just the EuroLeague qualifier.
Yeah, just a qualifying game. So I think that was a high risk, high reward for London Lions, and I think even that operation team someone was going to come in anyway. It just so happened to be Stella. So
they weren't losing anything.
Yeah. So I think when it came down to AG and Doc now, what Doc has done in previous years, like leading up to this, it's very
it doesn't
the
stand
balance
test.
isn't there. It's like, what is he actually going to do compared to the last team that he coached? So I think that's
unless the thing that the problem is attitudes. Like maybe there is actually, because that I think the one thing that you can give Doc is that he's dealt with personas.
Absolutely.
So unless what they needed actually was someone to come in
Discipline.
and deal with attitude and so on,
it is
then
hard then
maybe
to,
it is.
because imagine like me and Shaq, like we're grown girls, ladies, right? And then there's a lot of like, I don't know, different personalities on our court. Imagine grown men. It's like that's totally
grown men that are
different.
making millions and have families and have kids that can sit on benches. I find that the craziest thing. Have brothers that can sit on the bench and basically be my personal assistant. Last night Giannis got hurt. I'm not sure what. I think I've seen stuff that said it might be something to do with his calf. And Dennis walked out with him of the game. I'm like, I don't understand the system.
Like he made a bit of a scene for a cramp, you know. But I don't know.
Did.
It might be something more. But I thought it was
I think it's something to do with like a pulled muscle. But he scared me, like you said. It did seem like a big deal especially because of my Achilles. I was like, scary. Why is he holding right there? But yeah, for his brother to walk out the gym with him, I'm just like, what is happening here? Like with this with this team, That's like LeBron's like, okay, LeBron is LeBron James. If he really wanted to, I'm sure he could say, okay, sign my son. Otherwise, I'm not staying here. And I'm sure they're going to sign his son. Like, but that's not happening in this world. Like, Bronny has just decided to change schools and like he's also declared for the draft because he's doing it himself. Like, I just don't understand the dynamic with the team. And like you said, Ola. Yeah, of course. But like Ola said, I'm sure there's something going on behind the scenes that will come out sooner or later.
Yeah,
that's true. Because before AG got fired, they were saying that like the GM was at the training, like everyone was at training facility, and that's how they knew something was up. Like, so it's crazy. I guess Shaq, they need Coach Carter, huh?
Maybe.
Sounding like they need a tough coach, boy.
LeBron alluded to that on his Man of the Game podcast, talking about the challenges of being a coach and managing multi-millionaires, grown men in the locker room. So he's already alluded to the challenges of a coach coming in. So can imagine it's just difficult being in that position. And you know, like you said, you might need to give him some time. Might need to just have the right fit to be able to manage all those different personalities and get some discipline and order.
What do you guys think of LeBron's podcast? Has anyone been able to tune into it?
Yeah, no, I really enjoy it.
Do you?
Yeah.
I made notes on the first episode and I was just like, I don't really agree with it. No, I was like, this is why LeBron is the greatest and this is why players aren't. Like, he's very different in a sense of like, there's things that, like Shaq. So say if like we're about to be subbed in, no, not even subbed in, we're in a timeout, right? Stella's chatting her business or whatever, saying what we need to do. We go on the call and we're like, what the hell did she just say? He don't understand how that happens. Like, how did you not listen to what coach said? Like, I was like, I can be listening, but I'm just not receiving. Like, I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you have brain farts. Like, do you know what I mean? And to me, that's normal for a lot of players because there's been conversations where it's like, what was the play? What did she just say? Do you know what I mean? But to him, he's like, how do you not understand that? Or there was a time where he said, what did he say? He said, oh, like players are so used to like running plays on one side of the floor and they don't know how to reverse it to the other side. And he don't understand how.
Left-handed player.
Yeah.
Versus right, yeah.
And I think that's a fair point because when you learn plays, you learn it on one side and you don't really get to do it on the other.
Yeah, unless you play like a 4-option player.
But he was able to flip that. I think from 8 years old, he said he could just flip it.
But to me, I can do that. Like, in a sense, I feel like every player can do that. I don't, like, it's like driving on one side of the road, go to another country. You have no choice but to drive on the other side.
Yeah.
I think if you're dialed in, you can actually do it. I did it. We had to do, like, you know, we played 5v5v5. and it's like a whole drill.
Yeah.
And then so I remember my team in college, like we did a whole play that we just learned on the other side, and our coach like stopped. He was like, "You guys did the whole play on the other side. I didn't even ask for that." He was like, "That's fucking impressive." And we're just like, that's only because we were tired and she was on that side. Do you know what I mean? So we just like, let's just run it that side. But I didn't think like that's something not everyone can do. So I feel like everyone can do it. But now that you're asked to do it, it might be like, oh, can I do this?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
And I think it like the timeout one is a really good example because like if you think about it, like this is your whole job, right? And
I'd be
and
forgetting.
you know what I mean? This is your whole job, and at this point in time, the person who can see the court the best has come to tell you what you need to do. For you to walk back onto that court without knowing what you need to do, like you're not doing your job. And
yeah, that's me.
And but then also having
you're not making $1 million, a couple million.
One,
so
you're not making $1 million, but two, also
don't worry.
being incredibly
Thanks,
tired. Do you know what I mean? Being
Yeah.
incredibly tired, like I feel like we know the areas in which you can slack, right? And we know, and you see it in basketball all the time. The easiest areas to score is on an inbound play because someone is sleeping. Do you know what I mean? There's always situations because one person is always sleeping in certain situations, and you just need to be a what's that guy that plays for? Is it PJ Tucker? The guy that plays
Who are you thinking of?
the guy that plays for Pacers. That is always getting the inbound steals.
Oh yeah.
You just need to be someone like that. I don't think it is PJ Tucker.
No, it's not.
No, but I know what you're.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
when he
the
always
white
gets
guy.
it. Yeah.
PJ's on Clippers.
No, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just need to be someone like that that knows that one person is not going to be dialed in to always get that steal. Do you get what I mean? So basically, what I'm trying to say to you and your response to you is that like, what he's trying to say is that you should never be like there should never be areas where you're slipping because it's your job. But
Yeah, no,
I
I agree.
We know what those areas are. Like,
I agree, but I
timeout
can't
is
help it.
definitely- Yeah.
Do you know
Do you know what I mean?
I thought that was not like I thought it
Yeah.
was like that was just a thing. Like, oh, sometimes you be forget. That's why
Yeah.
like point guard doesn't sleep. Do you know what I mean? But
I
clearly
wonder
he's like,
if it's something that we've all like collectively given each other grace on because we do it too. Whereas actually he's just got a higher expectation of people because it's the easiest. Like I said, it's the easiest place to slip.
It's not space where you can make those errors. It will happen, but that's what separates good and great. Those great players are like the LeBrons who are able to tap in and step up their game to a level where they're professional in all areas, not just on the court, not just during plays. It's in all areas of their life. He's going to get back home. He's going to study the game. He's going to make sure he gets his rest. He's going to make sure he's tuned into a space where he is able to receive that information. He's tuned into a space where he's able to absorb what the coach is saying, lock in, and remember it as well. Those little things that he's doing off the court mean that when he's on court, it's easy now. He can remember it. It's not a case of I'm forgetting because of this and this. It's like, okay, I didn't even do this the night before because I know that that's going to deteriorate my IQ for this game. And so that's why I love his show. It just shows the different level of detail and needed to be a professional at that level. And I think that's also a homage to Kobe Bryant, who had the show Detail as well. And being able to kind of continue that space, continue to give a platform to people that want to understand more about the game, understand the mind and what it takes to be a professional at that level.
But I would say that's LeBron like 90% of the time. 10% of the time he's not like that 24/7. Like I feel like what he endures is like he's going through it. Do you know what I mean? But there's been times where you see LeBron, he'd be so pissed off with the team, he ain't even like being a team player. So it's like I wouldn't say that's him 100% all the time. I think he does slip himself sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like this season he's been much better though. Like I feel like that was his story last season. He's definitely came on this season and been a bit like, nah. Like I actually kind of like you guys.
Even when he was at the Cavs though, like he was like there was a time where it was like they were like, it was a timeout and he wasn't even looking at the board or even he was like away. Like
maybe
so
it comes with age as well though. Yeah,
it's true.
Respectfully, I mean
it's true. So I wouldn't say it's him 100% all the time, but he is a good like representation of what it is majority of the time.
Yeah, it's an exception to the rule.
100. Bronny.
Woo.
So you had an interesting take page. Why do you feel like he's done both, declared for the draft and also entered the transfer portal?
I don't know. He just want to work out. Like I think he just want to work. I don't know why he's done that. I think he knows he's not ready for the league. I think he knows that, but I think he just wants workouts, and I think him transferring might be best for him because like watching him play in high school. I would still say I prefer watching Bryce. I think Bryce, he gets his shot off a lot tougher, like a lot tougher finishes compared to Bronny. I'm not saying Bronny's babied or anything, but I just felt like Bryce was a lot more entertaining to watch. I feel like this is going to be a great player. But Bronny doesn't give me that spark. I think because his name is Bronny, it comes with too much. And I think he needs to find a school that suits him. And I think USC, it just didn't suit him.
Yeah, I'm wondering if... Oh, sorry. I'm wondering if, like, he'll go far away from home. Like, if that had anything to do with it. I'm wondering if he even stayed on campus. Not on campus, but, like, with the team or with his teammates. Or, like, if he was at home all the time. And I feel like that would be a factor of, like, okay, I'm basically a man now. Like, you're past 18. Okay, I'm not relying on my dad anymore. I'm going to make these decisions on my own. And maybe that requires me moving away from... I'm sure they all wanted him to go to the best... I'm sure that's the best school in California and the closest. So I'm sure he's going to move away.
I've got a question for you, actually. Was there a time, talk about it if you're comfortable, where you ever wanted to, like, transfer from Ole Miss?
Yeah, there was. I had multiple times. But I think, like, now, so people transfer so much more. I don't know if there's still a rule now that, like, you have to sit out for the year. I'm not sure if that... Okay, so that also had a part in it. Like, you have to sit out for the year. That's a whole year of no games, no basketball. Like, okay, it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're enduring it, you're like, wow, this is a long time to not be playing. Yeah, just training, and it's different. Obviously, game time is different from practicing. But yeah, there was many times that I wanted to transfer. But for me, I had never left any system. So, for example, Haringey Angels, I stayed from as soon as I started basketball. I was in that all the way until I was 18. With England, the same thing, all the way until I was 18. Like, I'd never had a team and then left. So I didn't really know, like, what would happen or how I would do that. The first team I've left was only 2 years ago when I was in Hungary. That was the first time I had ever left a school. Not a school, sorry, the team. Yeah, so also you're young at that age, so you're like, okay, am I making the right decision? Yeah, so yeah. It's a lot to think of, especially as an 18-year-old.
I think it's bittersweet, the transfer portal, because it's like sometimes I think kids should thug it out. Like, sometimes it's not going to be like all nice and flowery. Like, sometimes you've got to thug it out, but sometimes some situations just it's not for you. Like, had Angel not transferred, like, maybe
we wouldn't know her name like this.
I think, like, playing in college, like, if you watch, like, them now, it's like, yeah, you know these girls or whatever, but it's just like, to this extent, absolutely not. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's a big difference, and she's helped the game a lot. So I think transferring is kind of bittersweet. I think in some cases you should thug it out. Like, the reasoning why you're transferring is because, I don't like the coach, or, you know what I mean? It's just it's quite interesting.
I also think I feel like at that age it would be useful for you to have to explain the reason for transfer, like a formal press conference to explain the reason for transfer, because just like you said, like, you need to understand that you're making a decision and there's repercussions for your actions. At that age, I think it's probably one of the most important times that you can learn it, because it's a safe space to fail, really, because you're not necessarily going for nothing. You just don't know if it's going to be better or worse. And I think that would probably allow someone, like a young person, to start really thinking about the decisions that they're making, because like, people are transferring left, right and centre. Like, as we talk about LSU, she's on her way out after a year, which is really
insane.
It's insane. That is, like, I think that was...
It's insane, but I don't think it's really that insane, because the Hailey Van Lift that I was watching the year before at Louisville, she was nothing like that.
Team, like, she did so well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, people will move thinking, like, this is for them, and then now you got to move again. So why not just thug it out? Do you know what I mean? I didn't have the season I wanted, but, you know, we've got to go back, graft for it.
I think I, like, prefer when they make the decision and they're like, okay, this is what I'm doing and I'm leaving. I think whatever they decide, like whatever's best for them, I feel like they should stick with it. Like I regret now not transferring. Not saying that I didn't, not saying I didn't having the option and like not going with what I felt like I wanted to do or needed to do. Like I'm always gonna have that like look back, oh, what if I had decided to leave and go to this school? Maybe I could have been like an angel. You just never know. But like I feel like now that they've got the opportunity to leave, I feel like Hayley, for example, she's made the right decision because LSU, it just wasn't really the right fit for her. Like she just looked like a completely different player.
Yeah, and then she goes to her next school now. She doesn't like it. Like this is where it is. It's becoming too accessible. I think the reason why it needs to be like substantial on why you need to leave. Like she has a valid point. Like her game changed for not the best. Do you know what I mean? So she has a good reason why she wants to transfer, but some people just be transferring for bullshit reasons. And it's like and these aren't necessarily big names that we know, but like there's people because they need to toughen up. Like they can't do it just because the school works is too much. I heard at this school they don't be doing this. Like this is dumb. Like do you know what I mean?
You can
like
send emails to the did you guys see that thing? You send emails to the lecturer and say, can we move the exam because there's a game on Wednesday now? And
oh my gosh.
But yeah, there was like did you see it?
No, that's insane.
Yeah.
I wish
you talking about the NC? Oh, I thought you were talking about the NC State, the men's
that one,
basketball player.
But
that was for the finals.
Yeah, that was for the finals. That's
I let him off.
But yeah, in that situation, and it's really cool what the professor said.
Yeah.
What did the professor say?
He basically said that like the guy sent an email saying that I'm lit AF right now, and there's a game. Like, can we consider like moving this exam to Wednesday? And he responded saying, "This is the best email ever." And then he sent an email to the whole class basically saying, a lot of you have contacted me about moving the exam. We can move the exam.
That's really nice. I wish I could have that sort of power. Or
just even like that sort of like, I guess like not manager, but like in our field of work now, that's something like that could happen. But yeah.
Let me try and message my boss now. Oh, can we not do this 9 a.m. meeting because I'm going to be up at 4 a.m. watching NCAA Finals.
Yeah, exactly.
See what kind of response I get.
No, I'm flexible. As a manager, I'll be like, listen, we're all starting a little bit later today. But yeah, definitely gotta be flexible.
Of course. But yeah, I guess talking about NCAA finals. Obviously, there were so many people that talked about it, but also ratings-wise, 18.7 million.
18.9 million.
18.9
for the women's game.
So yeah, apparently that is more views than every single football game aired in NCAA across the whole season.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Because football's like, there's big games.
Yeah, we're talking American football as well.
Yeah,
Not soccer. Yeah.
Not soccer.
Yeah,
No.
soccer.
No, but when you look at football, like they take that serious. I'll be having the time of my life at a football game.
Yeah.
But
They're
too long, man. They're too long with all the defenders coming off and then the offense going on like that. Those games, they take ages.
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on, but I'm there for
it's like 4 hours.
Yeah,
it's
it's crazy of just people going off and on every 4 innings or something like that. I don't think innings.
I think it's just such a different game because there's so much stopping. Like obviously it's one hit and then you stop, then you set up again, then you go again. Like it's a long game.
Saying that we should not talk about American sports again in the comments.
We
Sorry.
tried our best.
So yeah. If you guys want to explain in football terms what American football is, that would be fantastic. Do that in the comments. Shout out to the listeners.
Yeah.
But
18.9, sick.
Yeah.
And that's just like the foundation. That's
what we know
branching
about.
off. Yeah. So
that doesn't include everyone that was watching ESPN somehow.
Everyone on them sneaky
Sneaky
links.
Thanks for sharing.
Well,
by the way.
my taxi driver today was talking about the NBA, blah blah blah, and then he was like, I asked him, "Oh, did you watch do you watch college basketball also?" Because he watches the NBA. Obviously, I'm in Greece and they love Giannis, but he was like, "It's a bit late the games, right?" So I was like, "Oh." The men just played on Monday, and he was like, "Oh, did they?" I said, "Yeah," and the women played the other day, and he was like, "Yeah, I watched the women." So like the fact that a taxi driver in Greece watched the women play and not the men is speaks wonders for what the women are
women
doing.
had 18.9 million views and the men had 14.8 million views. But that was the first time that the men's game has had lower views than the women's. And the
Really.
highest ever for a women's game. So incredible to see how the sport has completely grown. Completely.
Mm-hmm.
Give everyone their flowers.
Honestly.
Everyone has contributed to this. Like you said, past, present. It's really insane.
Yeah.
I really like the Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird like little talk about it also.
Well, did you watch their
It's through their link.
Yeah, I was watching that as well. But there's still a little bit of hate undertones there. But
They make interesting points and
listen, I'm ready for the next season. Watch. I'm looking forward to it.
What shook you a little bit?
No, DT, it's just kind of like when Caitlin comes in the league, don't worry, I got something for her kind of vibes.
DT, I just can't believe after all these years, it's still like, not her trying to go against the rookies. Leave her alone.
She's
But
going to give her
I guess that's her job.
to the league moment for sure. But
it's going to be interesting. I think all the girls are going to be in for a shot because they've made such a big name for themselves in college. Now they're going up against these pro players. It's not going to be easy for them at all.
Yeah.
And I think some players might be bitter that they didn't have this acknowledgement when they were in college, so they might even play a little harder defense. which is going to be interesting.
Face guard, Caitlin Clark.
Actually, it's all good for the drama, but I was like, I can see where this is going over here. But that broadcast was really good, and I like Jalen Kurtz came on there too. So
I saw that. Yeah,
good vibes.
He made fair points.
Did you see Snoop's?
Oh.
Snoop was good.
I see your type. Okay, here we go.
I'm just looking left and right, like, okay.
Let's talk about Angel Reese. Do you think she should have declared for the draft, or should she have done one more year?
I think it's tough because I feel like it's she can't win in the media, and we talked about
in the media, hell no.
We talked about that, right?
That's a losing battle.
I feel like if she had declared, if she hadn't declared and she stayed one more year, people will create some sort of villain story about how she was going for Caitlin Clark's record and felt like she needed another year. Something stupid. Like obviously she was nowhere near the record. But I just feel like, as in, like, it would have taken all it takes is one incompetent journalist, which we have seen multiple of, to write a story like that, and people who do not watch college basketball or know where she is in the ranking will believe it, and she'll become a villain. But I think if we're talking about it from her own perspective, like what would have been best for her, I've seen takes on both, and I actually think it probably would have been better if she stayed. I think she still has quite a lot to learn.
Same.
And it would be really sad if we don't see Angel Reese in the WNBA. But I do actually think that is a possibility. Like, as in playing. Do you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely, yeah.
Getting cut is like
it's
a question.
real life.
Yeah.
I think she has a lot to work on her offensive game. I think there's only so much you can do, like just getting putbacks and getting boards and that.
Yeah.
Because for her position, it's like the girls are going to be towering over her. We saw it in against South Carolina. So it's going to be interesting. I hope she succeeds in this situation. I think one more year. Like, I know she's achieved. Her resume is extensive. It's exhaustive. Like, I just think she just needs to develop more of her offensive game to survive in the W.
I agree.
I think if she had stayed another year, I think that could have been beneficial for her, because I think she would have moved up in the draft. Because what is she, like, ranked 7 like in the mock draft? Yeah. So I do think that she made like a bold decision. Like, okay, I'm not necessarily settling, but like, I'm 7th and I can accept that. And maybe I could have got a higher spot in the draft next year, but like, I want to show what I can do now. And I feel like shout out to her, because I probably would have stayed another year.
Oh yeah, I would have stayed another year, boy. But no, I think it'll be interesting. I hope it works in her favor. I know it's not going to be easy for her at all. It's going to be really hard.
I mean, she's shown over the last 2 years that her resilience level is high. So actually, like, she can come out of this training period and wow us all. It could happen. She could be that locked into what she wants to achieve next. That actually, that's all she's looking forward to, and I really hope for that for her.
I think also right now the moment is the hottest it's going to be. So to be part of this draft class is probably making sense from that perspective as well. That's probably what her team are probably whispering to her, and probably confidence in our own ability to be like, you know, I'm gonna work hard to be able to hone in on my game and what's necessary to make it in the league as well. So she's probably thinking from that perspective too.
I didn't even think of that. That's actually a really good idea. Like the draft, the players that are getting drafted, it's a good idea to like go with them. Maybe she would have been forgotten about if she stayed in college, because there's no more Angel versus Caitlin. Maybe it's going to be boring. So maybe they can bring that over to the WNBA.
Yeah, it'll be, hopefully.
Yeah, haven't the W, I think there's a game that they're anticipating against Indiana Fever that they've already changed, they've just recently changed.
Phoenix Mercury.
Yeah.
LA, sorry, LA,
Aces.
Vegas,
So Phoenix already advertising their games, that DT versus the Rook. So or the GOAT versus the Rook. They're already marketing.
Everyone's
Caitlin's
marketing skills have up.
Honestly, you had a
skyrocketed.
take on Nike marketing right now that we were talking about earlier.
I was thinking, who's in that office? Because the way Nike marketing have been going ham right now, it's like you've got the Caitlin Clark ads, which were crazy, and then you've also got Victor Wembanyama's that was just so epic, that reveal for his logo, and they did it with like the crop field with the total eclipse, like once in a lifetime player versus once in a lifetime situation. And it was just like boom, how did you think of that? But I also liked Under Armour's they did a campaign after South Carolina won, and it was like, you win some, you lose none. And I was whoever did the copy there, well done. So shout out to all the marketing around the sports, game, women's sports, and it's really helped elevate it and put it in a really good space where eyes are on the game. Like people are enjoying it, and we're getting a lot more coverage in the right spaces.
It's almost like if you're not watching women's basketball, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Even Caitlin Clark said it in an interview, like, if you've just started watching now, like, welcome. And I actually thought, like, I rated that comment. It's like true. Like, she's like, welcome to the party. We've been here. But thanks for joining.
Innit?
But
shout out her.
Yeah, it was a great game. Great game. Really good game. And in the way South Carolina, Iowa came out hot. They came out hot, and then
I was like, oh no, it's gonna be a blowout. That's what I thought. Like the first 4 possessions, I was like, oh hell no.
Yeah, but shout out to Dawn though, because even like everyone was like, is she gonna call a timeout?
No, she stayed.
Yeah, she stayed. Yeah. She said, no, when they're at 15, okay, now I'll call a timeout. Like,
I saw her take.
When would you ever see that?
Dawn just stares at you until you make the correction. Like, Dawn's just gonna stare at you. No timeout, just stare at you, make the correction, and you're just gonna stay out there and fix it.
Yeah. And then post correction, it was a different game. Different game. Like they never quite got. I think it took until the second quarter. Yeah, actually, it was at the half, wasn't it, that they were up by 1. They were up by 1, and they managed to stop Caitlin from scoring.
Well, that was due to Raven's revenge.
Yeah, which we will definitely touch on. But then, Raven's revenge. Look at you, marketing. But I think, like, as in, for her to not call that timeout till then, and then I see them work so hard, because it was literally back to back. Like they were on their tail, and we were all on the edge of our seats being like, when is this point takeover going to happen? And how many other crossovers are we going to have between points? Yeah, it was a hell of a game.
But Caitlin came out, 18 in the first quarter?
Yeah.
Switch over
It
on
was
defense.
like 18 of 21 or something. She was the only person scoring, basically.
She was hot. But then, like we were talking about in terms of Raven, and we also mentioned before we came on, that not even really clocking what happened last year and why she had that revenge in her heart. And just going back to that viral clip of Caitlin just waving her off. She was just at the line.
It was personal.
She was just at the line, 3-point line, just passing the ball, and Caitlin was defending her from like under the basket. It was like really disrespectful.
It was like in between the block and the free throw line.
Yeah, because
like
she
waved
shoot.
her off, and she said, "Nah, she ain't gonna shoot that."
Yeah.
And this game, Raven didn't really shoot, and she didn't need to, because she trusted her teammates. She had, I think, ended the game on 3 points, but she locked her down on defense. I think it was just before the half where she got a steal, nice left hand layup.
Yeah.
And that just definitely boosted that confidence. When you know you can trust your teammates, and Tessa stepped up as well, Tessa Johnson. So just
she's cold.
Johnson
she's
and Johnson
out.
went out,
Yeah.
went off of that game. So just being able to see
And she's young.
the unselfishness of South Carolina and trusting each other and trusting their coach, trusting their game plan. I know Dawn talked about their game plan being super important. She gave a shout out to their scouting coach as well. So it was great to see that everything that they had studied and planned for was well executed, and
it just
well
shows
deserved.
what happens when everyone's on the same
page.
Locked in.
Locked in, yeah.
100%. I think as well, like the amount of turnovers that Raven managed to get. I don't have the number, but she forced turnover after turnover after turnover on Caitlin, to the point that I think by the time they were, fourth quarter, obviously 5 minutes left, the game was still somewhat competitive. But then we got to a point where Caitlin was now forcing shots. And she was forcing threes, like off-balance threes, even jump shots as well. I think she took it in at some point and she tried to get a foul. Like, the defense was on fire by this point. There was absolutely nothing she could do. And I remember thinking to myself that, this is the human in the player, because we've not seen her do that. Like, in a very long time, we've not seen her force shots the way she was. We've not seen her play, I wouldn't say selfishly, but feeling as though she is the solution.
So it's almost
to
like,
that
she is a
situation.
human.
She did put on her shoulders, but like we mentioned in the last pod, talking about the defense that they played versus like LSU versus Iowa, and they were going under the screens, and it's like, you guys had probably had a game plan of what you're supposed to do, but when you came on the court, you didn't execute. Raven took it personally and said, no, I am fighting to get over, and she got over the screen. She was still up in her face, forcing those shots, forcing those turnovers, making sure it was difficult for her.
Yeah, and I think
consistently,
even like they were saying, like, hand in the face even before she picked up the ball, like, as in she didn't want her to see the pass, let alone the basket. And it was like, she stayed ready for anything that could happen. And to be able to stay ready with your hand in the face while someone is still dribbling the ball and recover, like, she is one of the players that we need to talk more about.
And I want to talk about her composure, because Caitlin was getting a good whistle with some dubious calls early, and she kept her composure and didn't go off and be like, come on, like, it was like, you know what, I can see what's going on here.
That's a team player, because if she has an outburst,
to the plan.
That's a tech.
Yeah.
She has another outburst, she's out the gym.
She just stayed locked in, so that's great.
That's what happens when you know that you're needed on a team, in a sense of like, I need to lock in.
I've got a role to play.
And that's one thing about, like, we don't talk about South Carolina of having like a Caitlin Clark or what have you. They have a Raven Johnson. They got a Tessa Johnson. Yeah, they have all these great players.
Cardoso went off as well.
Cardoso went off, rightly so. You know what I mean? It's personal for them. And I think because they work so well as one, you can't really talk about one without the other, because they're so good as a unit. Whereas Iowa, we talk about Marshall maybe, but really it's Caitlin. Do you know what I mean? It's the Caitlin Clark show. So it's like, if you cut the head of the snake, what they got? Do you know what I mean? And that's really what happened. Shout out South Carolina. It's just like LSU last year. Like, they took it personal. Like, that's their SEC team that Iowa were disrespecting. And Angel said that. It's like, so I don't know, like, basketball's funny. It works weird. It's like, you can hate them, but it's just like, nah, like, you respect them at the same time when you got the same common enemy. But it's like, what these girls have done in college basketball is insane. And I don't know if it's going to be the same next year.
No, listen, I've got high hopes for next year. And you know what? I'm really looking forward to seeing the growth of Malaysia Fulwiley, because she's spicy. She's got that sauce, and to just be a freshman.
That class though, like, that's a powerful
But
class.
then I guess
this one was special. It really was.
It was special, man. It was like, I don't know, like, we need more classes like that. That was
that freshman class that they have now, especially the first time they had 2 freshmen in the All-American team, first team. That just is amazing.
Shocking, right?
That we get to, this, when we think about this whole season, like, we had the best seniors and the best freshmen, like, probably in some years, like.
But I guess sometimes, like, maybe sometimes you need classes like that so that everyone else can raise the bar.
The next group coming up.
Group coming up. And also, like, not only that, like, want to keep women's sport on the map. Like, no one has like, as in there are enough names that we're talking about right now. We were talking about last week that Juju was in that ad for with Joel Embiid. So it's like there is hope. Like there is hope. I think maybe the marketing teams need to do a good job of making sure that hope stays alive up until the next finals.
No, trust me, they invested too much in them NIL deals for it to be a one and done or two and done. They're about to keep this going
keep
as
that going.
much as they can.
Bring it round. But shout out to SC.
Shout out to South Carolina.
Shout out to
women's
Dawn
sport.
on the Mount Rushmore of coaches as well.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, we love to see it, man. A legacy that she's building. The legacy that she's building is beautiful.
It's the fact that she wasn't even interested in coaching until someone said, "Oh, can you actually play and coach at the same time?" She's like, "Who are you talking to, blah?" Like, you can't tell me what I can do. Like, let me show you how it's done.
Yeah.
She did that. So like,
just the fact that she didn't get a national championship when she was a player, and she got that close, and to see like the passion and like in her eyes when she was like in tears and she like bent down, she like broke down after they won, because like people don't understand that the work that she's probably put into this team, and like the fact that she's never had an undefeated season and she got that, like, and she never forgets about like her previous players or anyone that has helped or been involved in like South Carolina. That's what I appreciate about her. And when she talked about getting that first national championship, she always talks about I forgot her name, the coach from it was a different coach that gave her a net. I think she was the first Black woman to get a national championship, and when she cut down her net, she cut off pieces and she gave a piece to Dawn, and Dawn always talks about this piece that she would keep in her purse just for like a tangible, like a reminder, like, okay, this is what I need to get and this is where I need to get to. And when she won her first championship, she did the same thing and gave pieces of her net out. But she never forgets like where she came from and who's helped her to get where she is. And just an incredible lady.
Yeah, honestly, she's inspired so many, and like I think what I love the most is that more people now know her name, so that they can hear stories like that. Because I feel like, again, like things that you don't know, like it, even when they because obviously there was a situation where Aaliyah was interviewing her before the next game, and that was like the most wholesome thing I've ever seen. And it was like her saying that we're doing this for all the people that we haven't won a ring for, like you. Like, we're bringing this home for you. And both of them were like, she was like, no, I'm trying to interview you. Like, stop talking about me. And it was just like that whole interaction. It was just beautiful. And it was like, that's how much this game means to people individually. But that's also like, those are the sort of stories that we just don't hear enough of.
It's just so amazing, like how powerful you are with the ball, not in your hand. And
a word. But I just want to say one thing really quickly. So obviously we know that Camila Cardoso won MVP, but there was one transition that it was perfect, right place, right time, every single time, like 100% basketball IQ. And it was phenomenal to see. So I'm going to walk you through it, okay? So she's on defense at this point in time, and someone beats her teammate. She helps. She gets the block. She starts running up to help. In that situation, they get her the ball inside. She pivots, and then pivots on the inside, goes up, gets the shot and the foul, makes the shot. Like, it was literally, and I think in the space of, it was like maybe like a 12-second play. It was, and I feel like this is also probably one of the things that happened that brought them into maybe 3 points under. It was honestly like, it was television. It was that's Coach Carter type television.
Poetry in motion.
It was poetry. Thank you. It was poetry in motion. Like, at the point in time when they needed it the most, she stepped up, end to end on the court, and it was like, I honestly think that transition fueled them to think that they could take that game, because
talk about being a two-way player.
Yeah, because I even think she brought them to 1 point below, not even 3. It was chef's kiss. So shout out to her, man. She deserved that MVP.
Shout out to her, yeah.
Oh, can I just give a quick shout out for the upcoming WNBA draft? I want to shout out Hannah Jump from the UK. She won silver at the England Commonwealth Games, and she's played at Stanford, so she's declared. And good luck to her for the draft.
Love to see it. More representation.
That girl can shoot, boy.
Yeah.
Hannah
And that name, jump.
Yeah.
Yo.
That girl can shoot. Shout out her.
Just want to give a shout out to the London Lions women. Also, they're in the Eurocup Finals today, so good luck to them. They're 7 points down. They lost in the first leg, but hopefully history can be made tonight. But regardless, we're still proud of them.
100%. I'm going to the game. I'm expecting a win.
I'm going to go down there too. So I'm
Yeah.
hopefully going to be cheering loudly. Hopefully
Yes.
the ladies can bring home that win.
Yeah. I think they're sold out as well. So we'd love
Yeah.
to see it. Let's do a little segment. We're going to do a Nando's segment where we are going to rate the tweets that came out about the NCAA Finals on the perimeter. Paige, could you please explain the different colours on the perimeter?
All I
Or
do
flavours,
is eat is hot. So all I know is hot is the red one. So
I can
we got
talk
hot.
about it. Let's go.
Okay, go on,
let's
go
I'll
on.
be going
let's
to
go.
the lemon and because I like the flavors and I can't take the heat. But yeah, hot, medium, mild, lemon and herb.
Okay, cool. And extra hot. We need to give extra hot.
Extra hot, yeah.
Okay,
I
cool.
don't even know what
That's
that
goated.
So I'll read the tweet and you guys let me know what you think. So the first tweet: Caitlin Clark is an incredible player, but these jokes are gonna bust. I'm sorry. NCAA Harry Kane is crazy.
Oh.
That's rude.
Wow.
Yeah, cursed. Basically, that's what they said. They said she's cursed. Never got a ring.
Leave her. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Boo.
Boo.
Lemon and herb.
Lemon and herb.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
saying lemon and herb because the tweet's not good or because you don't like the tweet? Because I think that's a hot tweet.
That's a that's a hot take.
tweet.
That's
Yeah,
a hot
yeah.
tweet. That's
You're gonna tweet that. If you tweet that, I'm gonna follow you.
Boo.
I think-
Lemon and herb.
But when you talk about people's legacies and stuff, like Dawn is what she's done is incredible. But when you're gonna look at Caitlin's legacy, she ain't got not one ring.
Yeah, but
After
neither
everything
did
she's
Dawn.
done. Yeah, but you look at what she's done
Yeah.
off the court. Do you know what I mean?
Fair.
Like her legacy. If Caitlin want to do coaching after, and then,
But does she have to do coaching if she is the face of women's basketball at this? If she's the person that has brought in 18.7 million views now?
Yeah, I don't think it matters.
no, not really. But what I'm saying is like Hall of Famers, yeah, they talk about like their whole resume from when
Yeah,
they're
fair,
young.
fair,
So
fair.
when she's gone to college and she hasn't got not one ring, like people are gonna use that against her basically,
yeah.
like
Like
this
that.
person.
Nah, I don't
Yeah.
think it makes too much of a dent in her legacy
No.
or impact.
I'm not saying like a dent in her legacy. I'm just saying this is what people are gonna try
Yeah.
and people who are anti Caitlin Clark. This is what they're gonna try and use against her
Until she proves otherwise,
because
basically.
they do it
everyone
with
said.
NBA players.
Yeah.
Straight haters.
To be honest, do you feel like I feel like she can't get cut? Because let's be realistic, yeah? So even if she was cut worthy, because we all know her defense is not 100%, right? But even if she was cut worthy, teams have literally changed their arenas because she's going to be playing in them. She's
Yeah.
worth
Right.
too much money to cut.
Of course, don't be cutting
They
her.
can't-
But that's how I feel about Angel Reese also. But they had Asia said, I don't know if it was a tweet or something, but she was like at the NCAA final, and one of the people in like an Iowa fan said to Asia, "Oh, you're tall. Do you play basketball?" She- so like it just showed to Asia Wilson, and it just shows like
Right, MVP.
Caitlin has brought so many people with her,
Mm.
and I'm sure these people are going to continue to watch her in
Oh,
the
yeah, for
WNBA.
They need to put
So
some more
yeah,
respect on Asia Wilson and put her face in the whole marketing
Oh, yeah.
for the WNBA. Because what is this
Oh, yeah.
TNT
Yeah.
thing? And I didn't see Asia's face on there.
Ridiculous.
Can
But
we
shout
get
out
Asia
to-
a shoe? Can we please just get Asia a
Yeah,
shoe?
yeah.
That needs to happen.
She needs her own black Air Forces, like as in.
No, I need my own black Air Forces.
Look at
They
the
can
age, I
have
knew
their
that
own
was
black
coming.
Air Forces.
Asia first.
She was after you.
No.
Cool. Okay, tweet number 2. Is it normal to guard I'll tell you who it is afterwards. Is it normal to guard a player like they're guarding Caitlin Clark? Like not even looking or following the ball, just pure marking? This was Sir, you're right. Uncle.
Uncle.
I love it. I love it.
You just
It's the
tell
just
that's
pure
a football
marking for me.
guy. That is hot take. Did you say?
Yeah, come on, because he's involved. He's tweeting. The fingers are
Yeah,
tweeting.
I like it.
I love it.
Are we saying extra hot?
Okay.
I think we're saying extra hot.
Okay.
You could only imagine.
I think I'm saying extra hot too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
went
I'm
and
gonna
watched
go
the game.
extra hot.
Yeah.
The fact
Because
that
it's
you've
showing that he
taken
doesn't
out-
watch it.
Yeah, the fact that you're taking out your respected game to go watch another game because you heard whatever, and you're like, oh
Yeah.
wow, like,
Yeah, it's true.
is this normal? Like,
That's true.
Yeah.
that's
And that he's
Fair
showing
point.
his curiosity, even if he's using
Yeah.
the different terminology.
Yeah.
Which we can
Someone-
teach you on the show.
Yeah, just in case. But someone
Yeah.
replied and said, no, it's not.
Oh,
They're face guarding her,
yes.
just like how they face guard Steph Curry. And he said, learnt that term, face guarding tonight. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
So yeah, we love it. We love
Aw.
it. Some wholesome community.
Watch
on
everyone turn
Twitter.
into a basketball
Yeah.
fanatics.
Yeah. explain basketball to me in football terms. That's basically what happened. Live and direct. So extra.
The live-o.
Lord, the whole damn NCAA is in the portal.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
It is true. Yeah.
That
I think it's quite
mad.
funny. I'm gonna give it a medium. It's funny because it's true.
Yeah, it's true, but it's not that interesting. I mean, I don't know.
No, it's a new like game we have now. Like we said, there's not, you don't have to sit out for the year. You can play immediately. It's just different. Like there's NIL deals. Like people are getting paid. Yes, it's a different game that we're dealing with now. So it's true, but
We've got people coming
it's
up.
funny.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
mild.
Yeah.
Everyone's like,
Yeah,
okay,
sure,
well,
medium.
Basically, just stated what's already happening. Like
Kind of
great.
plain.
Yeah.
Plain.
Kind of plain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me give it a plain as well.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna give it a medium. I think it's a little bit funny.
It's funny to basketball players because they're like, but
It's true because we're just
Yeah.
maybe I'm just a bit jealous. Yeah, I couldn't do that. Just hating a bit.
Fair enough. Okay, so Purdue's offense when Eddie can't post up.
So I'm gonna tell you the truth. I didn't watch the men's final.
Yeah. I'm just
So I
going
have no
because
idea.
it's
Yeah.
I think that just because of that, it's plain, and it's plain because it didn't land because no one was watching NCAA men's games. They were watching
No.
women's games.
I did
Oh, did you watch
bet
it?
on it. I did
I
fall
only-
asleep, but I mean, it's sure. I mean, I've got
Plain.
money, so I guess I can say
Yeah.
it's kind of
4 quote tweets. I think that's in the bin, and this is a verified page. It's in the bin.
Oh, sad.
Yeah, no one was watching that game.
It's a verified.
still,
Excuse me.
whatever.
No,
It's
give
a
respect
verified.
to the game. I
Yeah.
feel like
Wait, it's a verified
Yeah.
page, but it only has 128 followers.
Oh, okay, so they're paying for
I
verified.
don't think it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But now remember, these are gonna be like. You need to respect the men's also. Like these
Yeah.
are gonna be like our NBA.
Yeah.
Like they're.
Who
respect them.
cares? They wasn't saying that about the women
It's
years
true.
ago.
It's
I love
true.
the
Oh
game.
well.
Because we didn't even
Our
touch on
time.
some of the
Our
madness that
time is
people have been
now.
saying, but you know,
Oh
we'll
well.
keep it positive.
Yeah.
We'll keep it positive.
I love the game. I love both
Yeah.
WNBA, NBA. I love
Nah.
them both.
Yeah, but it's our time.
100,
Respectfully, it's our time.
100%.
You want the support from all everywhere.
Yeah. Anywhere where the ball bounces, I'm supporting it.
Yeah, I love that. And the same way I've supported both, you two men support both. And that's us signing out.
Bye.
Bye.